It is literally just being unveiled at a price of 13.66 lakhs. I'm gonna put the cover on the side here. Yes, that is the XUV 7XO. Prices start at 13.66 lakh rupees. They go up to about 24 lakh rupees. These are introductory prices for the first 40,000 customers. Pre-bookings have already started. Deliveries start on the 14th of Jan, and that's when the official bookings also open. You can also test drive the vehicle on the 8th of January. But before we get to all of that, let's talk about the vehicle. What's changed here? Firstly, there is a slight refresh on the design front. It gets a slightly new design for the headlight. I'm personally not a big fan of it. There's too many cuts and pieces going on. But you do get a new headlight design. You get a new grille in the front as well. And you get these fog lamps and cornering lamps down here. It's pretty cool. You can make your own mind up about it. Personally, I preferred the older 700. But if you come around to the side, new 19-inch rims, but the overall silhouette isn't too far changed from what we had on the 700. Around the back, there are a few more changes. You get a slightly different taillight. Now, this is similar to what we saw on the XEV 9S. I like the fact that they've given enough differentiation, at least on the front, from the 9S. So you'll definitely be able to tell the 7XO different from the 9S, but the rear is very similar. So different taillights with these hexagonal inserts here, the Mahindra Twin Peaks logo, and you have XUV 7XO lettering here. Now, there are some changes underneath as well. The engines remain the same, but you do get something called Da Vinci damping, which is Mahindra's tech for a new revised rear suspension setup, which is supposed to be even more comfortable than what the XUV 700 already had, which is saying a lot, because the 700 had one of the best ride and handling balances of any of its competitors. So the fact that it does one up is great, and we're actually driving the 7XO tomorrow, and the review will be live on the 9th? Yeah, on the 9th, right? We'll let you know in the comments below, but I think it's on the 9th. The review will be live on that day, whatever that day is. Stay tuned for that, and we'll quickly hop onto the interior because there is a lot that's changed there as well. Okay, now let's move on to the interior. Before we get to the interior, let me just tell you, we apologize for the lighting. It's not our fault. There's light coming from here, light coming from everywhere, and it's just a bit haywire, so excuse us for that. But the interior has its own set of lights or screens to talk about. The triple screen layout is, of course, the first new thing that you will notice, and this is standard across all variants. Thumbs up to Mahindra for offering that as standard. A lot of people aspire to get something like this, or a car that has a triple screen layout. Not sure the functionality of it, but it definitely has some vanity to it, and the fact that it's standard just makes it all the more better. There are some more changes. So you get a leatherette finish here that's brown. There is a beige finish at the bottom and some piano black inserts here. Not a big fan of piano black, but it is what it is. So you have a 3-color interior. Basically, you get an updated steering wheel. Now, this is not the exact same steering wheel that is on the BE and the XEV cars, because those have an illuminated logo. This has a proper plastic Twin Peaks logo here and proper physical controls here as well. That's nice. Not a big fan of the shape of it, but that's okay. Now, these screens are fairly bright. They also have something called Dolby Vision, so really high contrast ratios and should be very smooth to use. They have upgraded Snapdragon processors and a whole lot to talk about here. You have front ventilated seats. You also have front powered seat for the driver, of course, but you also have a powered seat for the passenger, which is great. And that enables a powered boss mode, which is operated through controls here. We'll bring you to that once we talk about the rear. Now, over here is pretty similar to what we had on the 700 earlier. So the gear lever is almost exactly the same. You have this control to go and control the main screen. And then you have a bit of storage space here with a wireless charger that has a cooling pad, a Type-C port and a Type-A port, and some hotkeys here which are touch sensitive, and I'm not a fan of those. Anyways, let's hop onto the back and see what that's like. Okay, now we are in the back seat of the XUV 7XO, and assuming this is a facelift, you might think that Mahindra has not done too much back here, but this being Mahindra, they have still done a lot. So firstly, you get a ventilated seat button here because yes, the rear seats are ventilated as well. Great job, Mahindra. You also get rear sunshades, which is always nice. There is also this thing here, which is something Mahindra calls BYOD. Basically, you can buy a mount from them which plugs in here, and then you can magnetically place your iPhone or your iPad here and charge it as well with a 65-watt Type-C charger, which is great. You also get AC vents and a wireless charging pad down here with a cooling function again. Now these seats, the second row of seats, still does not slide, but you do get a recline function, which is nice. And there is actually a whole lot more to talk about. There's active noise cancellation with the audio system. There is Dolby Atmos. There is, oh yes, the powered Boss mode control. So here on the back of the front seat, you get this button. We saw this with the XUV 9S. So you can use it to slide, recline, and basically liberate a lot of space back here. So literally, Mahindra has hit it out of the park with a facelift for the XUV 7XO. Okay, that was a quick look at the XUV 7XO. Hopefully we've covered almost 80% of what Mahindra has done. There is a lot more to talk about, which we will do at the first drive review. It goes live, like I said, on the 9th of January or the 8th. Today is the 5th, right? The 8th of January is the embargo date, now I remember. The 8th of January is when our first drive review will go live. A lot more social content coming to your way on the Instagram and YouTube channels of PowerDrift, and of course the first drive review dropping as well. So stay tuned, drop any comments if you have any more questions, we'll answer them. And yeah, that's the 7XO for you.